Hey my friends, Mr. Malta here. I hope you're ready for another fun video. Nice short one, just looking at images, resizing images, and some shortcuts. So, you have this open, or you should, if you've done the other two lessons. Hopefully you did. If not, you're starting in the middle. What are you doing? Anyway, I've got this slide 3, and I just want you to get used to moving shapes around. So, I've got my butterfly here. Try using the arrow keys to fly that butterfly around. If you're a ninja, you do not have to do this, but if you're a ninja, if you hold down Alt, the Alt key, and the arrows left and right, you can actually rotate an image. You don't have to do that. I'm sure some of you will try it, though. Get used to that. The other way you can do things is to click and drag. So when you're moving things around, I don't want to see one hand on there trying to do everything. Notice that I'm still holding down with my left hand, so I can move this butterfly anywhere really easily. It's a 2-finger process, so don't try to do this with one hand. Click and drag, click and drag. It's a 2-finger process to drag and drop, unless you have a mouse. But on a trackpad, and I like using a trackpad, I use it more often than having a mouse, actually. So look at that, moving that around. Moving that around, right? 2 hands, moving it around. So practice that up. Pause, students and teachers, pause and give that a little practice. When you're back, come on back to this. Now we're going to do resizing. So a couple ways you can resize. One is you could drag these corner ones. You do not, my friends, want to drag from the middle. Watch. Oh, that is the worst. You want to do the undo if that happens. Or if you really mess it up, remember, undo is your friend. Again, if you're a ninja, Control Z is the keyboard shortcut. Don't have to know that, but if you do, boom, it's a little faster maybe than using that little eyebrow up there. Okay, so you can resize by dragging, not from the middle of either side, from the corners. You might notice too that when I drag it back, do you see how you get that line? That's the correct aspect ratio. Whoa! There. Okay. So that's with dragging. You can do that. The way I actually prefer to resize is Control-Alt-J, makes it smaller. And I'm holding those down like snake bite. It's 2 keys, they're side by side. Control and Alt. J makes it smaller, but K makes it bigger. Control-Alt-K. Don't go too big because you will have errors. You will cause problems to happen if you go too big. And I'll talk on the next slide how to maybe fix that. So there you go. That's Control-Alt-J. So resize that butterfly. Drag it in. Oh, do you notice that? You don't have to have it perfect, but do you see how you get the crosshairs? That's exactly in the middle. When I drag it in, boop, perfectly in the middle. Look at that. So again, pause, and I'm going to go to the next slide. So practice Control-Alt-J, Control-Alt-K, resizing, not too big. And yeah, we'll talk about in slide 5 about how to fix that. So pause it, play with that, and we will see you on the next slide. Just making this big again. I'm sure you'll spend a bit of time on that. So pause and come on back when you're done with that. Okay, now easy ways to duplicate. Got my resized butterfly. We already learned how to move things around. I'm going to make it a little smaller so it fits just right. By the way, you can move things with the arrow keys. If you just want to move them a smidge, like shift in the arrow key, that's 1 pixel at a time. So that's like a little scooch. So the arrow keys, bigger moves, shift in the arrow keys. That's just a tiny little one. A little smaller. Okay, a few ways to duplicate. Control-D, moving it over. Control-D, moving it over. Nice and easy, right? Control-D. So that's one way to do it. You can fill those up. Another way you could do it is by holding down Control and dragging. That's duplicate as well. Just holding down Control and dragging. That might be a little bit harder for you, so if it's hard, just use Control-D. Next level, Super Ninja, you want to line everything up. Control and Shift, hold those down with one hand, and drag, and it lines it up perfectly. And watch this. I can hold down Control, just Control, and see that I'm trying to slow down in this part. Just Control, click, and then Control Shift, drag. Look at that. So if you're happy with just Control D right now, boom, good. But maybe teachers, you want to look at holding down Control, click, 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 and then Control Shift. I might have to watch this little section a few times, but look how quick that is. Boom. So I did mine. Could you now, I think you should add your own little image to this. So I did butterflies. Let's go to our image. You can insert image from here or from the insert menu. So practice that duplication for the first one. When you're done, kind of absorb all those keyboard shortcuts. There was quite a few there. Control D, Control Shift. When you're done with that, we're going to add our own image to this bottom box. Make our own patterns, right? Grade 1 math, grade 2 math, grade 3 math, patterns. So I'm going to search the web. I'm going to look for ladybug. Doesn't have to be a bug. Again, very simplest. You do that. You want to be an absolute ninja. PNG. I teach this very young because this PNG will give you these images that I hope will not have a background. Sometimes it says PNG. It's just a file type and they might still have a background, but see, that one has a background, but it's okay. I'm going to try to find one that doesn't have a background. PNG. Sometimes you start typing the word T, you'll put transparent in there. So PNG and then T will give you transparent. Or maybe we'll just make sure. Ooh, not much came up there. I might have to be, forget it. I'm looking at dinosaurs. PNG. Transparent, that'll always help. Ooh, I like a lot of these. Not this one. No background, no background, no background, no background. Oh yeah. Control Alt J. And I'm using either Control D or Control Shift or Absolute Ninja Control click, holding down Control. Boom. Oh my goodness, that was a lot. Pause. That might be just a whole lesson and you're done. I don't know. I think we have a little bit more time. Let's see how long this is so far. 8 minutes. Ooh, it's getting a little long. The last thing that I want to do on this is zooming. So the proper way to zoom, because sometimes our browser gets kind of zoomed strangely. If you just hold down Control, the minus or plus, that wrecks your browser. And I do want us to learn fairly early, Control Alt, just a snake bite, and plus and minus. That'll zoom you in. So can you zoom in? Can you find my butterfly? I don't know if I can find my butterfly. Aha. Control Alt. I'm just using 2 fingers to zoom around. Ha! Found it. And if you want, you can make that butterfly bigger. So I made a minuscule butterfly. Control Alt minus minus minus, taking us back to kind of normal. Look how small that is. That might take a little bit of time to kind of figure out. Don't worry about it. Just a speck. And turning back to normal, Control Alt and the letter right next to P, square bracket. Boom. That'll take you right back there. Okay, so that was a ton of stuff. You might have to watch this video 4 times to kind of get a mastery of this. I'm going to talk about voice typing in another video, not in this one. But there you go. A bunch of stuff with images. Everything you need. Good luck, my friends.